Hi, my name is Christopher Smith and I'm a Kentucky personal injury lawyer. Here's 4 things you need to know if you've been injured in an accident in Louisville, Kentucky. So number 1, the first thing you need to know is the statute of limitations. Kentucky is among the shortest statutes of limitations in the entire country. It is 1 year from the date of the injury or the date that you reasonably should have discovered the injury. So in most cases, that's going to be the same day. If you were in a car wreck, chances are you knew you were in the wreck that day. But in more complicated cases, including medical cases, it may be that you don't discover the injury, for example, a misdiagnosis, until later when you're told about the diagnosis. So the date of the injury and the date of discovery can be different. So in that situation, it would be the date that you reasonably should have discovered the injury. You'd have 1 year from that date. So that's the statute of limitations. Number 2 is something called comparative fault. And Kentucky is sort of unusual because it has a system called pure comparative fault. I did a video on comparative fault in Tennessee and explained Tennessee's modified comparative fault system, which is kind of the majority rule. And under that system, you have to show that the defendant was more than 50% at fault. And if you don't make that showing, you recover nothing. But in Kentucky, you can recover even if you are more than 50% at fault. And your damages would simply be reduced by the proportion of your fault. So if you were 60% at fault, you could only recover 40% of your damages. That's the minority rule. Kentucky is somewhat unusual, but it's very favorable to plaintiffs because there is pure comparative fault rather than modified. Number 3 is damages caps, and Kentucky is among a few states that doesn't have damages caps and in fact has enshrined the prohibition on damages caps into the state constitution. So to impose damage caps in the state of Kentucky would require a constitutional amendment. So this is very favorable again to plaintiffs because it means there's no theoretical limit on what you can recover. Number 4 is the 3/4 jury rule. In Kentucky, you only need 3/4 of the jury to find in your favor and you can win. That means typically you need 9 out of 12 jurors to find for you. A lot of states require unanimous jury, including Tennessee, where I did the other video. In states like that, you have to win everybody on the jury and you can't have 1 detractor. But in Kentucky, you can have up to 3 detractors and still win. So that again is very favorable to plaintiffs bringing cases in the state of Kentucky. So I hope this video has been helpful. 4 things you need to know if you've been in an accident in Kentucky. Comment down below or send me an email if you have any questions. Let me know how we can help. Thanks for watching.